St. Thomas basketball is above 500 and fourth in the Summit League Conference in only their third season in Division I hoops. My name's Alex Zappa, and I'm here to shed the spotlight on two Minnesota-grown players who are a huge reason why that has happened. Parker Bjorklund from Chaska went from a player who only averaged 5 points per game his junior year, went to St. Thomas as a student for 2 years, and then got plucked off of the intramural team he was playing on. Fast-tracked his way now. He leads the team in scoring for a program that, again, has been one of the greatest surprises in D1 basketball. On the other side, for Brooks Allen, he was the fifth leading scorer his senior year at Shakopee, goes to St. Thomas, gets put on the JV team as a freshman, and now 6 years later finds himself as one of the key rotation players on a very competitive Division I program. We talk about those incredible stories getting to Division I basketball and a bunch more on yet here another edition of Senior Spotlight.
Throughout high school and definitely going into my senior year, I enjoyed basketball, but it wasn't at the forefront of everything, right? It wasn't my main thing that was going for me.
At this time, during my senior year of high school, I was unsure if I was going to play college basketball. I'd had people reach out, primarily MIAC schools, asking if I wanted to come and play some Division III basketball. And I was kind of weighing my options.
I was running a social media business that was doing pretty well at the time, and I was really enjoying that. And going into senior year, I had no, plan or intention to be playing college ball.
And it was kind of at that point when my season ended, I realized I don't really want this to be over quite yet. And I talked with Coach Tower a little bit. My head coach, my senior at Shakopee, we had a brand new coach for my senior season. He actually played at St. Thomas. So he kind of reached out to St. Thomas for me, saying, hey, we got this kid Brooks. Maybe you should take a look at him.
I just kind of went into it as like, here's my last year of playing basketball. I'm just going to have fun with it. And then, once the season's over, I'm just going to focus and lock in on my business.
I met with Coach Tower and the staff on a visit, and they're like, hey, we got this great JV program that can develop you if you come here. And I'm like, JV? I don't want to come to St. Thomas and play JV, but that's actually exactly what I ended up doing.
So my first 2 years at St. Thomas, freshman and sophomore year, I was just a student, running my own company. And then that kind of slowly started to die down a little bit my sophomore year, and that's kind of when COVID happened, so I had a lot more free time. So that's when I went home. And I was since there was a lot more free time, we had a basketball hoop outside, so I was just like shooting baskets casually. We have a nearby community center, so I was working out a little bit.
And then the next year, COVID was still a big thing. We'd have to get nasal swabs every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday in the field house at 7:30 in the morning, just to be able to practice as a team. And if one person tested positive, even if it was a false positive, we'd all be shut down for 2 weeks. So we ended up only playing 7 games that year. That's when Parker joined our team. I was the 9th guy on that team. We only played 8. So once again, 2 years of D3, I've still yet to really have a role on the court.
Going into my junior year, I decided to, ask the coach if I could just try out for the team, the D3 team at the moment. And, I tried out for the team, and, they decided to keep me. So we played that year D3, and then the transition hit the next year, and then we went D1, and, I've been here ever since.
I played in our first game at Chicago State. I think I airballed my first 3, and after that, I went 4 for 6 from 3 and had 12 points, which was 3 points more than I had in my first 2 years of Division III combined for 9 points those first 2 years, and then had 12 in our first game, ended up being our 6th man that year, even got a start. When I was a freshman in high school, I was only like 5'10", kept growing steadily. By the time I was a senior, I was about 6'6", so throughout that whole time, I was constantly growing a couple inches a year, and it just takes a little bit for your body to catch up.
When I started playing basketball again, sophomore year of college or junior year, I was much more committed to basketball than I had ever been before.
My sophomore, maybe junior year of college, that's kind of when I grew into my body. But the blessing about being the 5th guy on a high school team like that, leading scoring, is some things don't really change.
I never watched really the NBA or college basketball growing up, so those 2 years when I'm just watching basketball like a ton, that helped me grow a lot, like just off the court, not even with the ball in my hands. I think that helped me really learn the ins and outs of basketball and, seeing all the moving parts.
If you think about it, every Division I basketball player was the guy on their high school team. And now there's one ball. There's always been one ball, but now you have 15 guys that were the guy in high school, and there's one ball. So my role, if you think about it, the last 10 years hasn't really changed. I think I'm the 5th or maybe 6th leading scorer on our team right now, and I've never been an elite scorer. Obviously, there's been a few games where I fill it up, but any player at this level is capable of doing that.
Just studying the game, working on my own game, getting stronger. It's accumulation of a lot of things. Of course, my coaches and my teammates, right? Coming in, I had no idea what I was doing, and they were able to help me a lot. So credit to them, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
By the time I was a junior and was able to step on the floor, I knew what we wanted to do as a program on the court. So then it was just, the thing I didn't know was if I was a Division I athlete. I would say I'm a Division I basketball player. I would say I'm a Division III athlete. That's how I put it.
I definitely wasn't as confident going in as I am now. You learn more and more. Every day I just became more confident, right? The more reps you put in and, the more knowledge you learn. And, when your teammates and coaches are feeding you that confidence, you're definitely able to grow.
I would say my first year of Division I especially, I really struggled with that, partially because I had just come from not playing for 2 years. So part of me was worried, like, oh, I'm playing pretty well right now. Like, hopefully I can keep this up. Like, I like playing. This is fun.
I would say it's just accumulation of all these events of, practice, film room, off-season work, working with trainers, all that. I would say it's accumulation of a lot of things.
Last year, my senior year, I definitely got better with it. And especially going into this year, one thing that, everybody talks about is that preparation is confidence. So whether that's in the film room, knowing who you're guarding and what tendencies they have, or knowing the other team's sets just so you're in the right spot defensively, or just getting in the gym and shooting. When you see the ball go in, then you're going to have confidence. And when you have confidence, you're going to see the ball go in even more. So it all kind of stacks on itself. It's definitely something that comes more with maturity too.